Hey everyone, Voltas here, coming through your speakers. Today we've got a 1v1 matchup on MLG's version of Metalopolis. This is actually a replay, I believe, from MLG Dallas of this year, 2011. And this is a relatively old replay, considering MLG Providence just happened this weekend, which, by the way, I was at MLG Providence. Flew in from the lovely city of Detroit to the lovely city of Providence, Rhode Island. It was quite the time, and I did get to meet both of these players. I just got back yesterday, so of course I want to cast some matches. All geeked up about StarCraft 2 right now, so let's introduce our players and get this thing rolling. In the upper middle section of MLG's Metalopolis is our red player from the team Evil Geniuses. It is Geniues InControl. And at the 2 o'clock position, the blue Terran player, none other than Team Liquid's very own TLO, aka the little one. I actually got to meet both of these individuals, got pictures with both of them, got my shoulder signed by TLO. I had my Team Liquid shirt on at the time, so I said, why don't you just sign this shirt for me? Got that done, and actually went and hung out with InControl outside at registration. InControl is such a nice guy. Him and a couple guys, including Machine, were sitting outside the pre-reg, just welcoming fans, helping out, getting people geeked up about the weekend. And, you know, I can't say enough about those guys. InControl's a real personable guy, really into supporting esports in any way he can. So, let's see how these guys do. It looks like TLO is getting some good scouting done on InControl's base. Not a whole lot going on. Naturally, got the cybernetics core going down for him, so he's getting a good view. Now, he does kill that SEV and then immediately adds a second gas. Let's see what he does with that second gas. And then we've got over here on the Terran side, looks like we've got the standard barracks factory, possibly leaning towards a 1-1-1 build. Single refinery going on. Nothing too unusual. It looks like InControl did get a good view of what was going on. Somehow he slipped by those 2 Marines, or 3 Marines, and manages to take this Zelnaga tower. So he'll at least get a little early view of what's going on down there. Looks like he's got a stalker over here next to a pylon to do any scoping out of strange dropping or lift mechanism that'll come from here. I saw an interview during MLG Providence with InControl, and you know, he described his love of the community, love of casting, and you know, he readily admitted that he's maybe not best at his game right now. He does love being a pro player, but you know, he's got a lot of plates in there trying to support esports. I think he just posted something on Team Liquid about how people can get involved and help out esports the way I am helping out esports, and I'm really geeked about is doing this casting, at least getting halfway decent. I know I met a lot of the premier casters, and I'll never claim to be Husky or the, you know, Tasteless and Artosis out there, but what I can say is I'm trying to cast stuff to get people to at least watch more StarCraft, and hopefully I do a decent enough job that it's worth sitting down for and viewing your favorite players. It looks like that Zelnaga tower was taken by this pretty significant army. Now, that lift activity that I warned about looks like it is going to occur, and he's got a couple of Hellions and some Marines up here. They're going to quickly get rid of this pylon. More drops, more elevatoring up. This is quite a significant force that is coming in the back door of InControl. Is he going to be able to maintain control? Yep, had to say it. Using those force fields, he is keeping somewhat control on this relatively large incursion. He's trying to pull back his drones. The drones are lining up quite nicely for those Hellions. The Hellions are starting to burn away at him. Looks like this Immortal is going to be able to stop them. And, oh, okay. He did get that medevac with the single Hellion, but there was a lot of damage done there. Where is it? Units lost. Control R. Workers killed? 12 workers killed on TLO side. So he killed 12 of InControl's probes. And it looks like, again, he's evacuating. Now it's up to 17. So a lot of drop action, a lot of devastation to InControl's economy. And this Hellion is actually going to make it out alive after adding 3 or 4 more probes to that long list of death. So things are not looking good for InControl here. Oops. There we go. Got rid of that. It does look like InControl is going to try to do some kind of drop behavior himself. He's got 2 sentries and an Immortal just kind of hanging out in the mists over here. Gorillas in the mist. He's going to do a second drop with the rest of his troops, and this is pretty much his whole army after that deal. He's got to do some damage. He's got to be able to do something to TLO because he has just lost too much supply. And if this does not work for him, if he does not kill some workers, I don't see him being able to survive. Now he is trying to focus down some of the SCV. The SCVs are properly responding. There are a lot of Marines in play. Got the Guardian shield up, but will he be able to hold? Will he be able to do anything? He does still have his Immortal in play. Those Marines are slowly trying to focus things down. It does look like he is doing some damage to the workers. And we do have, now we have InControl killing a total of 25 workers. That almost seems irrational to what I saw. But it look, I guess the statistics don't lie. InControl has turned this thing back around, killing a total of 25 of the Little Ones workers, getting back for that 17 worker loss. So I think that he just refreshed this game, and he didn't lose too many troops to that incursion. He did lose that Immortal, which is a relatively expensive unit. And it looks like he's got his Warp Prism outside to kind of get an idea of when TLO plans to do another expansion. Both players still on one base. That's not going to last long. It doesn't look like either player is really looking to the future, looking to what they're going to do. There is a medevac over here, but it doesn't have any troops in it. I don't know if he's just trying to scout for potential for a drop, or just trying to scare the living crap out of InControl. And he's definitely scaring him, because this medevac is over here, but there's nothing to drop. Of course, InControl actually has responded appropriately with some stalkers to try to fend that off. So I think InControl thought that he prevented a drop, but that was no drop at all. Odd behavior on TLO's part. But, he did kind of at least feign a drop, which is actually getting him set up to dropping down this command center. So he is going to push out with all of his army and try to defend this expansion. Seeing that with the Warp Prism, InControl quickly dumps down a second Nexus. Going to try to flesh out an expansion for himself. So both players looking to push this game past the single base builds that they both were pushing along with. Boy, I don't even know where to start with the number of things that happened this weekend at MLG Providence. all I got to do is put out a giant shout out and a thanks to Sundance and MLG in general. Overall, it was a success. A lot more people than I saw at the Columbus thing, only growing bigger and bigger. They seem to be adding more chairs, but it's a problem that's a good problem, because they add more chairs and more people show up. And it does look like there was a little incursion of Hellions, which made InControl quickly bring back his probes. And oh wow, this is a significant number of troops that are coming in from TLO, and that quickly pushes InControl to throwing in the towel and saying good game. So not that exciting of an ending, but I think it's right. I think this push in was pretty obvious. It was a lot more than InControl could have handled. So yeah, that was a pretty decent game. Just to get back to my previous conversation about MLG Providence, what a good time. I've been following things on Reddit, and a lot of good positive feedback. Obviously, the floors were a little sticky from the Dr. Pepper that was being passed around, and there wasn't enough seats. But man, the energy in the room, it was incredible. And one thing I also like to see is they've added League of Legends to the roster of games that are being presented at MLG. And believe it or not, League of Legends, they had quite the crowd. They filled up their seats. I remember at MLG Columbus, StarCraft was on the side stage. I think Halo was on the main stage. Obviously, at MLG Providence, StarCraft was on the main stage, and it was just huge. And they packed that area the whole time. And, it was good to see another game that was growing and developing. So League of Legends is apparently a pretty decent spectator sport. So, all hyped up about esports, all hyped up about casting. I hope you enjoyed this cast. I hope I see you at the next MLG that I go to. But thanks for watching.